Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. This week I thought we'd do some modifications to the off-road trailer, getting it ready for the Cape. So I've done a few already, let's go through them. We've welded up these holes. I've ground a couple back just to see how they were going. A couple needed a little bit more, so I'm just going to run the grinder over them now and make sure that they are all sealed up. We have a hole through the back there, but I'm planning on putting a bit of box across there just to support the back of the rooftop tent, so the weight won't be on the rear door there, and it'll also be able to give the door something to seal up against as well. So we'll get the seal on there and it'll seal up against it. I've done that side previously and threw a bit of paint on it, just some rough paint. The whole trailer needs to be ripped back and repainted fully. We've left a hole through there as well. I'll probably just flex that up or something, I think, at the moment, not sure, but we'll see how it goes. So that's a little bit of work done on the trailer. Our next problem is she's a bit flary needed. So I've got some box steel. We're going to weld onto the outer edge, and that will then cover it. So I started welding these up. I just tacked it on. These are the extensions, so definitely going to cover the tyre. Still got a little bit of the sidewall out, but not much. It's not real thick box, and I've just checked out the backside of these and then bent them, tacked it up to follow the lines. Because I'm using scrap bits, this one was a bit short, so I've extended it, and that was a hot section that I'm just soldering. And I've just got one more kick to go to cut out, which will drop it down to here, and that'll meet the mudguard. And yeah, that'll be one side extended. Well, that's all tacked together. Then I'll go through, weld up the box section, and then weld it onto the actual trailer itself rather than just tacked. So this is what I've done. I've drawn a center line where the bend should be, and then I've gone straight down to the intersection, and I want to cut out all that inner side. And I've done about 1 centimeter or just under 1 centimeter each side, so of the center line. So taking out about 2 centimeters roundabout out of the back side of it and angled into the top, and then just give it a fold in and a dirty big ugly tack there, which I'll clean up and weld all them up. I've got to weld that join up as well. That's a better looking one. So you just bend it in so it matches the trailer and tack it up. A little bit of a gap there, but we'll weld that up. So that's how I'm doing it, and then it's going to be too long, so I'll cut it off and then weld it all onto the trailer. Cut out that little V, and then you can fold it around to the shape that you need. So let's stick it back on the trailer and see the exact angle we need. Put a tack or two on it, and then we'll get the final cut-off length. We'll cut it off and weld up all these tacks, and then weld it onto the trailer. Righto, she's ready to be tacked onto the guard, and then we will weld it off. And there we go. Just put some little welds every now and then. Doesn't need to be super strong structurally. Came across this little problem though when I was grinding it. Seems like the inside was all rusted out there, so I'm gonna have to cut that out and plate it up, I guess. Have to fix that up now, but That's a flare done on one side. Just needs to be cleaned up, painted, like the rest of the trailer. She's a bit rough, but it's an as fabrication. What do you expect? It's got to be rough. So I'll just blow a bit of paint on it, cleaned up. She's even rougher on the inside. Probably could have cleaned those welds up a little bit better. Might do that before I put some paint on it. So Nath reckons that I need to put a piece in there. So I've cut up a piece, checking it out, angled the front, and that one just needs weeding down a bit, make sure it fits. But this is the other side that I've done already, just needs to have the welds cleaned up. So I've cracked that into the front there, and then back into there, joined it up. I had to do this one as two pieces, didn't have another piece long enough. And while I was at it, I broke the hinge off this, so gonna have to hinge it somehow. The painted product. Also recreated this hinge as it snapped, just using a bolt and a big knot, and it now hinges on the thread. And yes, it will need to be repainted again. I didn't do this back section. I don't think it needs to be done. It probably would finish it off nicely, but I pretty much ran out of material. I've got two little bits left of that 50 by 20 mil box. So that's it on that side. And this is this side, the driver's side, I guess you'd say. Just got to weld this piece in, which will create that front little section. So we've got to drill another hole in here for the filler, and we've got one there for the little pump. I've also got to add a bracket somehow on here for the awning. I've got like a foxwing awning, so a bracket on that end, probably a bracket right up this end as well to support that. Well, this side's got nothing on the front and nothing on the back. The back will be a step so you can access the rooftop tent that'll be on top. Not sure what we'll put on the front yet. I do have another jerry can holder, but it needs fixing up as well. Planning on putting the spare tyres on the front. The plan will be to cut that off and just weld it on top. So I'll probably cut it off nice and low, weld that straight on top so that the tyre will sit on top of it. Something a bit like that is what I'm thinking. And that's the welded on bracket, or tyre carrier I suppose you'd call it. She's braced up so it shouldn't move, and the tyre sits actually on the actual deck as well, so most of the weight will be on the drawbar. It's just the tyre will be tightened down onto that, so that should work alright. And that's the big hole drilled out. So we got the little hole for the pump, obviously needs to be fitted up properly. I'm going to add a electric pump as well, I think. That's part of the plan anyway. And the bigger hole is for the filler, key operated filler. It won't open without the key, but yeah, it's a tad too big, but it'll be alright on there. We'll stick it there, something like that. At least get two screws in it. It's not structural, so it doesn't really matter. It's just going to have a hose running straight down on through those holes there and to the water tank that's just underneath. And we got some material for the awning. So just going to have the small box slide inside the big box. So we'll get into that next, and that'll probably be. For now, that's the off-road trailer nearly ready for paint. Start cleaning her up and get her over to the old boy's place, and he can give it a paint job for us, and that'll be great. Get that done, and then we can start mounting the tent and working out what we're going to do on the inside as well after that. I've got some plans in mind, but we'll go through that when we get to it. Alright guys, thanks heaps for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah.